Hello everyone, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. So this Zoom has started giving these characters, is it? Okay. All right. It's a good practice to keep your cameras on. So make it more of a discussion. Okay. Make it feel like a class. And I think that's how trust me, you will enjoy the class. Okay. Thank you, Subodh. Thank you so much. And it actually means a lot. Okay. All right. So everyone, please keep your cameras on. This is a class. And thank you, Chandramali. Thank you so much. Thank you, David. Wonderful. Wonderful. Keep your cameras on. That'll make it more like a class. Okay. So we're going to have to keep the discussion very lively. And since it's a long-term course, right, it is best to know everyone. I would request everyone to write their about me in details on WhatsApp. Okay. I would want you to write down your complete story on that WhatsApp group. And I would like to read everyone's about me in detail and would like to keep that bookmarked. Okay. Thank you, Sanish. Thank you, Mandeep. Thank you, Disha. Yeah, wonderful. And so please write, probably say one pager about yourself and share it with everyone in the WhatsApp group. And I would also write my about me there. And yeah, and then probably we can have the next round of intros in the next class. Okay. And yeah, so I would love to actually know you better. I want to read through your about me's and then to see you like introduce yourself in the group. Okay. A few guidelines on the course. The course is going to be very hands-on and discussion oriented. Instead of me being a teacher, I would be more like a person who you ask questions. Okay. Utilize this time in asking whatever question comes to your mind. And also at the same time, learn to be accommodating about each other's questions. Usually, the way we have been taught since childhood is that the teacher basically shushes you and will make you feel that your question is stopping the entire class. Okay. In here, question is the purpose of the class. Okay. Question is not stopping the class. Okay. No matter what question comes to your mind, it definitely has a very, very important meaning. Okay. It's just that you may not be able to articulate the questions, but no question, I have not seen a single question to be bad. Okay. There's no such thing called a bad question. It is the way we interpret it. Okay. I'll give you quite a few examples. I have taught quite a few people by now, and my students are way more qualified than me. And yeah, people who are economists, people who are mathematicians, people who are working for NASA, people who are biologists, okay, and people who are CEOs of the company, people who are founders, entrepreneurs. And I've had all kinds of people in my class. And what I found is that their questions did look stupid in the beginning. And the reason why they looked stupid to me because I did not have the understanding of the subject. So I remember this question by Huawei's India head, the guy who was heading, he was attending one of my classes, and he asked that how do you trust machine? Okay, that's a question he asked. And at that point of time, I was not ready for the question. And I said, what kind of question is this? And I said, okay, I'll go back and think about it and I'll answer you better. And then I realized this is a pretty deep question. And it has taken me a long, long, long time to answer that question. So be accommodating to each other's question when somebody's asking question. Try to see if you can answer the question. Okay. And that would prepare you for your interviews, prepare for you for your client meetings, prepare you for your complex projects. Okay. So learn to accommodate each other's questions as well as yeah, ask any question that comes to your mind. Do not think. Another reason why people don't ask question. First reason they don't want to ask a question is that they think that my question is stupid. Okay. Okay. Don't think that way. Second reason we don't ask questions is that my question is stopping the class. Don't think that way. Third reason why people don't ask questions is that, hey, it's my mistake that I'm left behind. It's only me who is not able to understand what Sandeep is saying. Okay. And therefore, I should not be asking question. I missed last class. So I mean, this is a very real thing, right? You will face this. I missed my last class and I should not ask questions. Okay. My point is no matter what, ask questions. The reality is that if you did not get it, there are at least 80% people in the class who did not get it. They are all thinking the same way, that they're all thinking that, that it's my mistake. I did not pay attention earlier. Therefore, I have missed out. But the reality is that probably I have not put that current concept properly, or current concept is a little more convoluted. Okay. So no matter what, ask questions. That is the way you learn. That's the way you would grow. That's the way everyone would grow in the class. Okay. So yeah. So that's the ground rule. Next is work with me. Work with me. All the exercises that are there in the class. Okay. Work with me, and you will it's like building a muscle. You do exercise, you become fit. If I could type all the code, I teach everything, I'll build muscle, I'll become smarter. Okay. But you have to work with me. That's the next point. So ask questions, work with me. Okay. And yeah, third thing is that try to think like a kid. Okay, you will see this as we go in this course, that try to think like a kid. And try to think like a kid, meaning that um it's okay to be excited about a topic. It's okay to be, ask crazy questions. It's okay to make a lot of mistakes. It's okay to be forgiving about your own mistakes. Okay. So think like a kid, and uh, think with first principles. That will be the thing that you will see that when I'm starting with maths, probably you'll have to go back and say, oh, this is the day I studied entire trigonometry for. This is the day I studied the equations for. Okay. So I'm going to go that route. I'll not be assuming that you have learned calculus. Okay. There are many people who come with a very big calculus background. There are mathematicians in my class. Okay. In the previous class, the other batch. And like really, really good mathematicians, national level. And the thing is that when it comes to combining maths and computing and thinking, the entire meaning of maths completely changes. For example, how do you differentiate a Python function? You might have learned calculus and algebra, but how do you differentiate? How do you find the differentiation of a Python function? Or simple, like all I'm saying is we will be doing like super basic things with first principle. We will not be using algorithms, will not be using algorithm, we'll be building algorithm as part of this class. For example, how would you, let's say I give you an image, how would you decrease its size? We do it every day, right? We open the photo in our Instagram and we can zoom it and it increases the size, right? How would you do it? If I say that an image is an array, how would you code it up? Don't give me an answer that I'll use this library, that library. No. The answer should be that this would be my strategy. Okay. Without using any tool. Okay. Without using any library. Okay. Of course, you'll be using programming language, but by the first principle. So that's the next thing. Think like a kid. We'll be doing things with first principle. Okay. Of course, in real life, you will use library, you will use TensorFlow, you will use scikit-learn, you will use all these advanced libraries. But for the learning purposes, we will be building the algorithms ground up. Okay. For example, towards the end, we will be creating our own ChatGPT. Okay. Our own ChatGPT from scratch, training it, gathering the data, everything from scratch, not using ChatGPT. Okay. And that's an important part. So you'll find it fundamentally very different when you yourself think about like, how do I think? I mean, if you see the entire machine learning is so simple and so hard for everyone. Okay. Like why it's simple? We are such a good learners, correct? From the childhood, we have been like very good learner. We can, do very quickly everything. But at the same time, building that learning machine is the holy grail of the world as of today, right? If you think about all the AI people trying to do, they're not even able to mimic a lizard, for example, a small animal as of today. Okay. And we all know how to learn, but we are not able to teach the machine how to learn. If you see the conundrum of it. So the entire thing is about, walking through with first principle. Okay. First principle, like the first question that I always encourage everybody to think about as we start with the class is that how do we learn? How a human kid or as child, how did we learn? Think about the algorithm we have. What did it? Think about it as you go home, as you walk around. That's the holy grail of the entire AI. Okay. So at one hand, everything looks very simple. On the other hand, everything looks very complex. And you will see this whole conundrum when you study any of the topics, whether you're studying reinforcement learning as part of this course. When you study reinforcement learning, we'll be trying to create a robot which is curiosity driven, just like a kid, and how to mathematically express curiosity. Okay. So all of these ideas are very simple for us, but at the same time, very difficult to translate those ideas into code. Okay. So that's why the entire journey of this course is going to be first principle. We are going to do things with first principle. Okay. And by the end of the course, I can guarantee that all of you would be in good shoes to be able to build your AI models. Okay. And so on. Right. Now, this would enable you know, as part of the entire course, everybody will build their own interest, own focus from this entire course. But the entire course will definitely change your life as we go ahead. Okay. And I mean, you will start to think in a very different manner. The other thing I want to tell everyone that from my past experience, I realized when I talked to so many people who have done their masters, PhDs, MTechs, and everything in machine learning, they are all struggling for the job. Okay, the reason is that they did not practice coding. Okay, so the format of this course is going to be first couple of months, I'm going to dedicate into coding. Okay. Now, you might say that this is not an algorithm class. Why are we spending all the time? The way I realize this, and what we have done is after we are done with basics of Python, right? You will be doing lots of exercises in Python which are related to machine learning, Okay. This course is not like any other corporate trainings where I will walk through the slides or you will listen to it, and it's not a vocabulary class. It's not a vocabulary class because 90% of the course you'll find that it's a vocabulary class in usual. Here, it's more about thinking. Every aspect, because we are building a thinking machine, so every aspect is about thinking. And to build that, I need to ensure that all of us are good with coding, and that too coding algorithms. Okay. So yes, and I can guarantee, even if you have never coded in your life, I can guarantee that everybody is smart enough to code given good time. Okay. I have not seen a single person not being able to code in my any classes. Everybody has been able to code. And it's just a matter of sitting down and doing it. Everyone is way smarter than that. It's just a matter of interest. Okay. And so the reason I'm again saying there's a lot of questions, lots of people ask me that why coding? Why are you teaching coding? The important part is that until I learned to code, I was not able to solve many problems. I could not imagine how to solve something. Okay. So as I learned to code, I learned to solve problems. I learned to express my thinking into a logic. Okay. When I started long back coding, I was thinking that okay, I have studied in CBSE, there is algorithm, we have created these blocks and this and that. End of the story. The coding will be like this. But when I saw somebody solving a Rubik's cube using code, I could not imagine that how would that work, or solving a puzzle that I could not solve myself. And then I realized that I know nothing about coding. And yeah, so I think coding is extremely important. Specifically, converting thoughts into code is the extremely important part. And now this exercise would get you the job, will help you clear the interviews. I can at most introduce you to a company, but every company has the first round as coding. Second, very important part. Second, this will give you a very good control and command of the problem statement. When you join somewhere, I'll give you this very good instance. So one of my friend who is a professor at a very top university, he wanted to solve his image recognition problem. So he approached me and he said, "Hey, help me out with this machine learning. And I have these brilliant MTech student who are working with him. They will code everything for you. Okay. And here they are, and they can help you out." And when I looked at them, they knew everything about machine learning, but they did not know how to code. Now that became such a big issue that their problem was they were not able to go through a folder structure in a specific format, load all those images into the memory and train a model. Now, their problem was they could not figure out how to code it in a to load it. So their problem was not that they could not use a machine learning algorithm. Machine learning algorithm using is pretty straightforward. Their problem was they could not code. And so in industry, a big problem that stops people from solving problems is people's inability to code. Okay. So it's extremely important that we put our heart and soul into learning to code. Okay. Learning to code does not mean that typing instructions. Learning to code is understanding how to use arrays, loops, how to use recursion, how to solve really complex problems of like how do you make system which can play tic-tac-toe and win and things like that. Now, so this is the ground rule. So we'll be focusing on coding. We will be coding things firsthand, and um, I would want everybody to be, you know, very free and fluent with the coding. If I ask you to find the standard deviation, you should not tell me that. And if I ask you like, how would you code a standard deviation? You should usually say, oh, I would use SD function in R or this library function in R. No, I would want you to code it. Okay. Second, how would you find the square root of a number? Okay. Things like this. So you should be able to, instead of telling me that I'll use SQRT function from here, you should be able to tell me that this would be my strategy. Okay. So work with me, and this is how you will build your muscle. And yeah, those who are experienced already, senior, they would have an advantage of being able to understand the problem better. Those who are younger, they will have advantage that they will not have to forget things in order to learn things. Okay. And forgetting and learning are the same thing. And so so we are all on the same platform. We are learning to code and learning to make machine intelligent from scratch. Okay, let's start with this. Today, I want to take up the questions on Linux. I can give an overview of what Linux is, how to use it, and then I'll be open for all the questions. Okay. All right. So any questions before we start?
I agree.
Hi.
Thank you for, I mean, it was a great thing to hear from you. So about your experience, and especially the part I liked is about the coding. So as you said, right, the coding is basic of everything, right? So
Yeah.
my question is around again, because we are starting this first session, right? So, but we are definitely the newer one, but you are having a great experience in, taking many classes. So what are the few tips you want to give us today from your experience? Like people started this certificate just
Yeah.
this course just as sake of getting certificate, but
Yeah.
or a few people started to for learning, and finally in between somewhere they lost the track, right? They started with very excitement like everyone in this group today, but as we move somewhere they lost the track. So what are your tips for us today so that everyone joined this class for any purpose, right? For
Yeah,
certificate or
yeah,
for learning.
yeah,
How can we succeed at the end of the after a year, right?
yeah,
Even in case of job or learning or whatever is the reason. So
yeah,
that a few tips where we are continuing learning, but now without losing any track for because it's a 1 year duration, right?
yeah,
So very excited. Everyone is excited now, but with the time they may lose the interest. So
yeah,
tell us something which is very important,
yeah,
so that everyone has the same enthusiasm or excitement every month by month.
yeah, yeah. No, so see, if you are losing enthusiasm, I will also, it'll be my mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. That right. And I would want everybody to think like a kid. Okay. It's completely okay,
Mm.
right? The think like kid means be crazy curious, be like I talked about a couple of things. Just make a note of it and then try coding it by yourself. Okay.
Okay.
And do like first principle thing. Like every question when you see, don't look for formula. Instead, derive the formula. Come up with a formula. And that's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do. Like I mean, very important part would be just think like first principle. Be like a kid. Be crazy curious. Okay. You see a problem. Let's try to solve it. Okay. It's okay. It's okay to fail, but at least every time you'll try, it'll work out. Okay. It'll make you better every time you try. Okay. So be extremely curious about things. How do they do these things work and so on. And be aggressive for your questions, asking me or reaching out to me. And again, I always say that be like a kid. Don't have that hesitation that because we have been taught not to ask questions. One of the dysfunctional education that I also went through was that you know the teacher, you know, since the teacher did not know the answer to the question, he made sure that my question would look stupid and he'll tell me that, hey, your question is stopping everybody else. And therefore, you should not ask stupid question in the class. Okay. I- don't let that happen. Don't let that learning be carried over. Ask the questions, be ruthless about it, be aggressive about it, and be like a kid. That's all I would say. And stay curious because the most important part is that what we are doing in this class, what we are learning in this class is the most important science about, it's the most important science. Okay. Think about it. Like, what is it that, what is it that human does? Human predicts their next step for survival, right? We every day we think about, okay, if I get this job, I will make this much money and therefore my family will live happily. Okay, like that. So we predict for our welfare, correct? Now think about what does a company do? Company predicts things, right? If I build this thing, it'll make more money to me and all of that. We as a group is called a company, and company predicts. So our primary goal is the brain's role is to predict for welfare, and 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 company's role is to predict something. Then think about maths. What is the purpose of maths? Predicting next thing, right? And what we are building, if you see all the human sciences, right? All the human sciences, we started predicting rain, we started predicting river floods, we started predicting solar eclipse and everything. The entire of science is revolving around predicting for our welfare, correct? And what we are building in this class, we are building machines that can predict for us. Okay. So this is the most important science that exists out there. And that's why this science is applicable in every domain as of today. It is applicable across every industry. Every industry's top work is eaten by machine learning as of today. And I can tell you, I work here as a consulting. I'm consulting for a top company as a heading their AI, and I can tell you that all the work is actually machine learning and AI in top companies and top positions. So this is the most important thing you should be doing with your time. I can assure you that this is the most important thing you should be doing with your time. The only thing is that instead of memorizing, learn. And that's what this class is about. And we are learning, I'm teaching so that you can teach machines to do predictions, to do things. Okay. So you will see a lot of overlap in when I talk about learning in this class and a learning of a machine. And you will see there will be overlap. And we'll talk so the simple tip is that know that what we are learning here is most important. Most important. Number two, stay very curious, just like a kid. Experiment, 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 experiment. Okay. The lab exists. The lab exists for a reason that you're free to experiment with all the tools. You're free to experiment with any of the new things that you have seen somewhere else. It's completely okay. It's completely okay to bring things which are out of context. Completely okay. And just be the kid. You will enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Because in the lab, if you try something else, if something breaks, I will reset your lab. Okay. You can't do anything that is irreversible. So don't be hesitant in trying out things as much as possible. So be very free, be very curious, and rest magic will happen. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So wonderful, wonderful question. And yes, before there is one more question in the comments. Question from Nitin. For the schedule that was posted, 4 topics are mentioned for week 2. Can we get the schedule a bit more granular so we can target the prep work to specific? Yes, good point. Good point. With respect to schedule, what I would suggest is in the curriculum, the way it is there in the course. Okay, it's completely okay to keep moving forward as much as possible. Okay. It's up to me. I can manage everything. I can manage a question from really hard topic as well as easy topic together in the same class. So don't worry. You can ask questions from even advanced ones. Okay. So my task again, with respect to schedule, I want to tell everybody very important thing, right? When I have to manage the schedule, I have to manage 3 things. Number one, am I teaching you such that you are learning well, meaning you are really learning or not? That I have to ensure. Number two, am I making sure that the topics you're learning are recent? And is there something new that has come up that you need to know right now? So the schedule will change. Okay. Now, third thing is the time, that will it end at that point of time, right? So between these 3 things, I would let go of the time and I'll make sure the first 2, okay? The time usually fills in automatically, okay? So allow me to be a little flexible with respect to schedule and with respect to schedule and with respect to I would not follow a very, very, very rigid process. Okay. I will not follow very rigid process. Okay. And Nitin, yes, in every class, I'll tell what are the topics I'll cover in the next one. Okay. But it doesn't mean that those are like, that it doesn't mean that those who are left behind, they cannot ask questions. Those who have skipped ahead, they cannot ask questions. Everybody is welcome. Okay. So, and you'll enjoy this class in general. It'll be, and you'll be amazed at the fact that that is the basics that we are all missing. Okay, perfect, perfect. Now, with respect to Linux, how many of you have gone through the Linux so far? Okay, good, Subodh. Anybody else? Okay, Nitin has gone through. Good, good. Mandeep?
Yeah, I deal with it day and night, so I'm good.
Okay, you're good. Okay, but
I
still,
mean, I
still,
know the basic. Yeah, yeah, I will. Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, because this was yeah right when I was launching this course, people asked me like, why do you want to teach Linux? The reality is, I think Mandeep can tell that. Do you think the Linux is useful for people in general in industry?
Oh, this, I mean, this is the backbone of any industry, right?
Okay.
So everything, whatever you will do from go no onwards, right? It will be Linux. So there will
Yeah.
can be different flavor, but so,
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay.
so I think the best platform in today's world
Yeah.
to deal with the computer where it's a kind of you
Yeah.
can expand and you can it's open source and whatever you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Any questions on Linux? Or you guys want, let me give you guys brief of what it is. Okay. Um, I will have to pause the screen share for a moment. Let me, okay. I think I'll just jump directly into the lab. That'll be easier. Okay. So everyone, I'm just directly jumping into the lab. And yeah, let's just learn things right away. And okay. All right. So you must have logged into CloudxLab. Okay. And yeah, if you go to, okay. Yeah. So here you see this, your login password. You can simply click on Jupyter. That's usually better. Okay. And copy paste the login password once and I'll just log out and show you how does it look like. Okay. Okay. So you copy paste this login password here. Okay. And that's it. Now, so this is like a Jupyter hub or Jupyter, and you can go to here and say new terminal. Okay. And you can do it after the class right now. So this is basically the the console. Okay. Those who are new, this is where you type the commands. Okay. So commands like show me the list of files. This is my list of files. For you, it would be empty most likely. And this is my present working directory this way. So I can interact with the file system. I can launch any program. I can create any program and I can compile that program. And whatever you do here will be stored on the server. Okay. This is the server, jupyter.e.cloudxlab.com. Okay. Now, same files when you see ls shows all the files in that folder. Okay. Same files are available here as well. Okay. Let's say I want to create a folder. So I can either create a folder from here. Okay. And it creates an untitled folder in the same place. Yeah, this is the folder. I'll just have to rename it. Okay. So this is my say folder. And let me give it a name. I'll say APR 2024. Okay. So that's the name of my folder. This is a folder, right? Now here, I can see, the, yeah. So there are so many files here. Let me scroll slowly. Okay. So you can see APR. Do you see APR something? AP, yeah, this is there. So when I say ls shows me the list of all the files. Okay. So you can do CD. And so right now my current working directory has been changed to this one. So this is the top level directory. Usually in Linux, very important thing to know that there is only a single folder structure, right? This is where things are kept in the computer. So at the top level, okay. So at the top level, it- this okay. Let me just zoom it. Okay. So this here, this slash at the top is the root directory. Inside this slash, there is home. Okay. And inside this, everybody is there. And then inside that, I have created a folder. Okay. And I can keep my things in this folder. Like, for example, I want to create my first program. So I can just say Python 3 and not this one, not this one. I will say new and I'll say text file. Okay. I'll say my program.py. So this is the, sorry, I'll just change the name to this. Okay. So this is my hello world program. Okay. All right. Now I'll say save and this should appear here. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. I think there's some glitch in my network. All right. Okay. Seems to be taking time. Okay. Let's wait for a moment. Okay. A question from Mandeep is, which cloud platform CloudxLab is hosted? Can you take a guess? Okay. Yeah. You won't be too far. You can make a guess in 3 times. Yeah. It is on GCP. Correct, Vijay. Okay. But yeah, but we have been moving between back and forth earlier when first Google gave us some good credits. Sorry, Amazon gave us good credits. So we used up all that credit. Then Google gave us the credits. So then we used up that one. Now, if Azure gives us credits, we'll move there. Okay. So now here it has taken some time, but it has created this. You can see this myprog. So you can see. Okay. Cat is the command that shows what's there in that file. So we created the program here. Okay. We created the program here using this text editor, and we are seeing it here. Okay. Now I can run it. So I'm able to run it. This is how I would run it. Now, the if you just say Python like this, okay, Python like this, then it'll run Python 2, which is pretty old. Okay. If let's say I go to my here and go to notes, okay, you will see there is one, yeah, export path. And if I copy paste this command and here. So to come out of this Python, I pressed Control D. Control D means exit the Python. Okay. Now if I say Python again, now it's Python 3. Okay, so this is the way you can interact with Python. You can just use it like a calculator, right? A little more complex calculator, or you can use it for, uh, writing the loops and other things, which we will talk about later. Okay, let me exit. I'm pressing Control D. All right, I came out of it. And so I talked about the files and folders, and I talked about the Linux console. Now, this is a very brief overview of the Linux. Okay. And those who are very new to lab, I would honestly recommend that you should go through the course it is, the way it is. Okay. Um, all right. What course does it show for you? Is it 203 or something else? What does it show for you in URL? This must be 203. Okay, let me just pick the 203 because 203 should be empty. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the one. Session recording for batch 2024. Yeah. Yeah, correct. So this is the one. Perfect. Now moving on. Here, very important part you will notice is that after you finish Linux basics, you will see foundation of Python. And immediately after that, you will start seeing these AI projects. Okay. Here, why we have kept it there is because it does not involve any knowledge of machine learning. Okay. It only requires the knowledge of Python, and that's it. Okay, so that you will get going with respect to these projects, this work. Okay, you will get going with AI and other things, and we'll be introducing more projects here. We'll be adding more and more projects here. Okay, so once you are through with Python, you'll be able to do lots and lots of work. All right, so moving on. Any questions with respect to Python so far? Sorry, with respect to Linux?
So Sandeep, I have a question regarding like in Linux, you may have KSH and CSH as well, right? Is there any special reason to use Bash?
Uh, is there a specific?
A specific reason to use Bash only? Like we
No,
have KSH and CSH as well, right?
yeah, good point. Good point. See, KSH and CSH are like it's a matter of taste. Okay, but the core commands would remain same. So it's not a particular reason why we are using Bash. We are just, because Bash is more common than KSH, CSH. Though CSH used to be more popular earlier, and it's okay. I mean, whatever you want to use. Okay. More important part is that to know is that Unix, Linux, uh, KSH, CSS, Bash, the heart of all, and Mac OS, the heart of all of them is same. They use the same, same philosophies. Okay. And so we have just taken the common denominator. Most of my knowledge of Linux comes from the Unix part. So most of the things, the way we have designed the course, like is from the perspective of the core fundamentals, like permissions, like accessing the here, if you see here, if you see like word count exercise, right? This is the word count exercise. So this is based on the standard filters of in Linux. Okay, perfect. Good question. And yeah, go ahead. Any other question for on Linux? Everybody is clear about what's happening in Linux. Here, let me just open this. Okay, let me remove this. So if you remove this alerts, that thing gets formatted correctly. Okay, so yeah, let's just so everybody is comfortable with like what's a Linux? I mean, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and so on. Everything has a similar behavior. Like for example, I'm on Mac, and there is an item. If I launch it here, it will also launch a bash. So bash is a program that this dollar that you see is being printed by this infinite for loop that's waiting for your command and taking the command and running it. This is called a bash. This is called a shell. Okay. And yeah. So you can see that in Mac also, it's the same commands that work here. Okay. The same thing works on Android phones. If you have Android phones and you can install term UX, you will see the same console and you can try the same commands. Okay. Now, so so I think let me just go. Everybody's okay with Linux, you know, so far. Yeah. So this is a small tutorial here. Okay. And let me skip this one. Yeah.
So Sandeep,
So,
I have a question. Like, so I'll be using Linux for the first time now.
okay.
So how will be using this in projects and all? Like,
Mhm. So anywhere if you go, right, whether you are working in, if you're working in a software industry, most likely the server will be in some form of Linux. Okay.
okay,
And you'll be working on those servers and modifying files, uploading files and interacting with them.
okay. So apart from all the troubleshooting things, so we'll be using Linux also, right?
Yeah.
Mm,
Most of the work would happen on servers.
okay,
Okay. Yeah. So all the heavyweight, all the work will be done on servers. Unless and until you are making a UI or you're working in small company, right? Everywhere else, if you go to, let's say, working with Accenture for a large client, most likely you will be working on their Linux servers remotely.
okay, okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
So most like all the machine learning work, data engineering work, data science work, you would be doing it on Linux servers mostly. And this has been my big learning. In the beginning, I did not include the course. Okay, I did not include Linux, and then I realized, oh, that's what is stopping. Okay, people from doing great work.
Okay.
Question from Mandeep is my credentials in the lab are not working. Anyone else is facing the issue? Okay. Mandeep, can you tell me I'll try to log in from your account. Okay. I will log out from here. Okay. I will go here. Okay. I will say here there is something called impersonate. I will. Can you just give me your? Oh, there's so many Mandeeps in this. I never knew that so many Mandeeps are there. I thought it's only Sandeep that's very common.
No, this is also very common.
Uh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Mandeep, could you tell me your email ID or something like this time?
Mandeep dot Mandy M-A-N-D-Y.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if your login works. Okay. So there we go. And let me copy paste this here. I'll just click on Node Jupyter. I'll try on the other one. I'll try on Web Console first. Okay. Oh, it's not working for you. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I hope that, sorry, I changed your, okay. I'm just fixing this thing. Okay.
Okay. No
Let
problem.
me just, so, or somebody from my, if I'm not able to do it right now, somebody from my team should do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I already placed a message on WhatsApp group also. Okay. I can take it later, no problem, if it's taking time.
Yeah, yeah. I think let them fix it. Okay. Ideally, it doesn't happen. I don't know why. Yeah, it worked now. Okay. So yes, it is fixed. All right. All right, perfect. Let me also log in into my, okay. All right, I'll just stop using your login. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I think it should work now, Mandeep. I've fixed it. Okay. Usually it doesn't happen, but yeah. Perfect. So there were a couple of questions. Okay. Question from Nitin is, when writing a shell script, why do we need to instantiate with the Shaban? Good question. Good question. Thank you, Mandeep, for answering that. Okay. Say, yeah, let's just test it out. Okay. So the answer to that question is, so question is that when we are writing any program, why are we starting it with a shell this sha command? So see this one, the script we wrote, okay, right, and this one did not have the shebang at the top. Usually we have this user uh, bin Python like that, correct? So this one tells like what program will be required to handle rest of the rest of this this code, okay, rest of the script. So what we could do is, let's just say that I added that user bin Python. Okay, so what I'll do is I will go here and go to the terminal, okay, and then check. So I will say cd apr 2024, okay, and this is my program. Okay, now let's say to run it without using Python, one way to do it is we say Python and say this. Okay, the other way is to just change its mode to executable mode. I'm changing its mode to executable mode, and then I am running it. Okay, now you see, it has figured out by itself that it needs to be executed with Python. If let's say we did not put this first line into this and we had this, okay, let's say we had this, what will happen is when I run this program, let's take a look at what is there in the code. It's only one line. It says print. Okay. Now we are just trying to execute it. Now it says that syntax error, unexpected token, hello world, right? Because it's not able to figure out how to run this program. In Unix, it does not infer that from the surname. It tries to infer it from the first line. Okay, in Windows, if it is exe, it will be executed with some program. If it is .py, it will be automatically executed with something when you double click it. In here, it tries to figure out the program name from here. Okay, this is the program that actually is Python. You see? Do I make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So because the system needs to know how to run this code or this script. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. Very good question. A question from Vinay is /user/bin, is this where Python is hosted? Yes, that's correct. Let's just check it out. So I have said here, this is my program. My program is telling in the beginning hash exclamation, and then there is this location of the program. Now let's just check what is this, right? Let's go to this folder. Okay. And yes. So there are quite a few files here. There are quite a few things here. Let's see if Python is there. Okay. Yes, you can see Python. Yes, that's the place. Further, we can also check /user/bin/Python. Okay. It is telling us that this thing is not really a program. It is a link to another thing called Python 2. Okay, let's see. What is Python 2? It's the Python 2 is linked to Python 2.7. Okay, let's go there. It says that, okay, this is yes, this is a real program. Okay, this is a real program. So there is a command called file, which checks actually what is there inside this. And this one is telling that this is actually a binary file, which is compiled one. Okay. So /user/bin is the folder. Inside that, there is a file called Python. But this Python file is a link. It says L here, meaning it is linking to somebody else. And when we went there, that one is linking to Python 2.7. And Python 2.7 is a real file, which is basically a compiled code. Okay. Perfect. Is everybody on the same page? Good question. Yeah. Okay.
So
Everyone?
Python 3 is the latest version, Giri?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay.
So Python 3 dot, I think 12, that is the latest version.
Okay.
Okay. Python 2 is just kept for the backward compatibility because some scripts might be using Python 2. And if you want to use Python 3, what you need to do? You need to execute that command that I said. Okay. I'm just pressing up arrow key and checking if it is there. Another way to search is press Control and R, and yeah. Okay. When I press Control and R, it gave me this. Okay. So this is that command. It is telling, okay. So when we type a command here, when we say ls, okay, or anything, what happens is that sorry, I'm at the wrong position. Okay, it just goes crazy. Okay. And there's just too many files in that folder. Okay, so my present working directory is this, and so on. Now, when we type any of these commands, what's happening is shell, the program that is there to run your command, needs to find that command somewhere. Okay, so it looks up in a variable called path. Path is an environment variable. So whatever is found in path, it basically goes over all of those. Okay, first it goes, say, I will show you what is there in path. So currently this path variable contains this chain of folders. This is one folder, this is another. So whenever we type command, first it checks here, then it checks here, then it checks in another folder, this folder, and then it checks in another folder here, then it checks in here, and then it checks here, and so on. So it keeps just going on and on in all these folders, and whenever it finds it, it runs it. Okay. So user, where is it finding the Python? User local bin, user local bin, I think, or user here. You see, user bin. This is where it's finding Python. Okay. Now, since I have put this folder, this one is containing Python 3. I put that in that folder list that look for Python here. Now, when I type Python, instead of going to user bin, it's finding in the first one itself, which is Python 3, and that's it. Okay. That's about it. And no, just for experimentation, if you again change it, the path, if you change the path to user bin, okay. All right, let's see. So now path contains first slash user bin, then it contains anaconda bin and anaconda bin, and the anaconda bin I've done 3 times, and then here. Now, since this is the first one, if it finds Python there, it will run it. So I got Python true now because it found it here. First one. Okay. I hope I answered your question. Does it make sense? The path, this path is an environment variable, they call it. The environment variable in which it goes and searches for the command that you are typing. And it runs it the moment it finds it.
Then it's kind of true and false, right? As soon as wherever I find true, I will run it and exit it, right?
Yeah, I'll just run it and stop searching.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Perfect. A question from Vivek is that, can we have different versions on same path? No, you can't have 2 files with the same name in the same folder. Correct?
Sure, Sandeep.
Okay. Perfect. Very good question. A question from Hemant is, for large amount of files in a directory, find is more powerful. That's correct. Not only find, find is actually very powerful even when you are looking for, in entire file system. Let's say I want to find a particular file in whole of my computer. So I will say, okay, give me this. Okay. So I'll basically run this. It is starting from the top. This is top. And then going to every folder looking for a command called password. Okay. So that's how it is. A question from Sunit is, why did we use echo in place of the $path? Basically, I wanted to see what's there inside the path variable. If you want to print a path variable or any variable's value, you use echo. Echo is a Unix command. Thank you, Mandeep. All right. Okay. A question from Divij is, will this create issue if we want to run something on Python 3? And exactly. So basically that's why you should always update your path. Okay. So if you want to run something on Python 3 and your code is written, like for example, if your code is written like this, okay. So I'll just show you. So I'll use a program called Nano. It's called, okay. I'll just go back to that folder, APR 2024. I'm in the folder, and this is my, okay, and I am looking for this. Okay, now imagine here, I'll just delete this, okay, and let's take a look at it. Now, say here, yeah, Nitin, you want to say something?
Oh, wait. I should be muted.
Okay, so here, you see, this is, now I have changed this code to Python 2. Okay, I've changed this code to Python 2. Because in Python 2, it was okay to not use brackets for print. So it was like this. Now, it would work. Okay, but if you change the path, let's say I change the path and put Python 3 before that. Okay, so what will happen? It will throw an error, missing parenthesis. Do you see that? So it will cause issues with respect to the versions. Did I answer correctly your question, Divij?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. A question from Nitin is, the numeric values for permissions are very interesting. Where is this normally applied? Is it just a shortcut, or is there a specific use case? Okay. Is Python 2, okay, good question, Nitin. And I want that kind of curiosity to be there. Okay. So question is, you must have seen those things, right? That that read is called, if you see, let's say I want to change the permission, okay? I want to change the permission of something, a file, I can use this, correct? So it means that 7 means something, 5 means something, and like that. Can you guess why is that? Like, why is that, that interesting way? Okay. Like one means read, 2 means write, and not 2. 1. Okay. So the reason for this kind of a format is very interesting. Okay. Pay attention here. Okay. This is a very interesting thing. Okay. It is a power of 2, correct? Okay. Why? Okay. Now, all right. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you can use things in combination. Okay. You can use things in combination. Okay. So you're saying here, let me wrap it off and start again. Okay. Let's say, okay. So if you think about the binary number system, right? So, okay, who can help me with the binary number system? So first number is 0, right? So 0 in decimal is equal to, okay, this is decimal number system. This is binary. In decimal, it's 1, so binary 1, 2. Anyone? 1, 0. correct? So what happens is when you are designing or thinking of a number system, you say that, okay, binary number system means you only have two digits, 0 and 1. You don't have any other symbols. And using these two things, you will create numbers. In decimal number system, you have 0 to 9, total 10 symbols. Using these 10 symbols, we are creating numbers. So what you do in decimal system, you start with 0, 1, 2, keep on going up till 9. And after 9, since we are not having any other symbol, we will say 1, 0. And then again start 1, 0, 1, 1, like that, correct? Similarly, in binary, you have 0, 1, 1, 0. Now after 0, it becomes 1, 1. Now next 1, 0, 0. Okay. Then 1, 0, 1. Now everything exactly the same way. 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. Correct? So that's like binary number system. So if you pay attention that if you are representing read, write, execute with these 3 bits, okay? So when there is no permission, meaning all 3 things are 0, that's equal to how much? 0, correct? If, let's say, one of them is on, let's say this one is on, that's equal to how much? 1. If this is 1 and this is 0, only one, this one is on, that is equal to 2. And okay. Now, the advantage of having this is that you can use all of these in combination. Okay. And it won't cause any problems. Okay. All right. I hope I made sense to you. It's a very interesting idea. It's a very interesting idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. As a good exercise, everyone. Okay. Who will Okay, I'll answer your question related to the links. Okay, here is a bit digression I want to take. Okay, are you guys ready for some fun challenge, everyone? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Okay. This is a very important thing, and you will thank me later. Though this is not part of any curriculum, but you will thank me later. Okay. I am going to give you a number system, and you have to design the numbers. Okay. If Let's say design a number system with a base 7. Okay. Meaning you have 7 symbols starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only these symbols. You are not allowed to use 8, 9, 10, or any 8 or 9. Okay. You have to use only these. Meaning 8 will become, what will come after 7? Everyone? In this new number system? 0 and 1. That's right. Thank you. Okay. And after this, all right, let me also write. Okay. This is important. You will be amazed at how useful is this idea. Okay. So we are designing a number system in base 7. Is everybody on the same page? Feel free to ask why and feel free to ask what's happening. If you are zoned out, ask me right away. Everyone? I hope I have not put you guys to sleep. No? Okay. We are learning to count. It's okay. And we are learning to count in a number system where you have only 7 symbols, you're not allowed to use 8 and 9. Okay, this is of very much use when you design encryption, when you design encoding, when you're designing base 64, when you're designing a format, or you are interacting with a object which can't understand decimal numbers, or which can't take 10 states. You will have to figure out how many states it can take. Okay, for example, attachments, when they are sent in an email, they are in a number system called base 64. Okay, and therefore it is of primary importance, okay, to understand the number system. Okay, now we are designing a base 8, not base 7. We call it base 8 because there are 8 symbols: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So total 8 symbols. We are not allowed to use more than this, and we are supposed to design the counting. So in this, 1, 2, 3, and 8 is equal to 10 and 9, okay? And after that, okay, let me just clean it up. This will look better if I put it in the columns, okay? All right, now this is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7. Like that, we'll keep on going. When we reach 7, 7, okay, what will we do next? Will be here 1, 0, 0. Correct? And then again, we'll keep on going. This is 8. Sorry, this is 8. Okay. This is 8. And the next will be 16. Right? Here, here 20. The next will be 20, right? 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and so on. Okay, so in this new base 8 number system, we call this base 8 because there are 8 symbols that we are allowed to use: 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 7. These are the total 8 unique symbols. Using these, we are designing our number system. Okay, so are you good with counting, everyone? Do you feel like you are in LKG?
Yeah, this is really good. Thank you.
Okay. Now, next thing I want you to do, it's an important aspect. If I ask you the basic addition subtraction, okay? I'm going to ask you, how much is 23 plus 2? Everyone? How much is 23 plus 2?
25.
25. How much is 27 plus 2?
31.
Yeah. 31. Correct. That's very good. That's very good. All right. And how much is 32 minus 3?
That should be 26.
I think
27.
yes.
27.
Okay. So now, okay. So once you have written down, okay, as a homework, what you do is take the base of your choice. I chose 8. You can choose 9. If you're choosing, say, base 20, okay, then you can design your own symbols. Let's say you chose base not 20. Let's say you chose base as 12, right? Okay. if you're going to choose base as 12, choose your symbols like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And instead of again starting here, we'll say A and B. So how many total symbols? 12 symbols, right? And then you will say 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, like that, and it'll keep on going 1A, 1B, and then you'll have 2, 0, keep on going 2A, 2B, like that. And then after a while, it'll become AA, and you keep on going. Okay. Or it'll become BA, BB, and then after BB, it'll become like 1, 0, 0. And then you'll keep on going. Okay. So choose your number system, choose your base. Okay, I just gave an example of base 8 and base 12. Choose your base. Okay. After you have chosen your base, list down numbers as many as you can. Okay. Then next thing is do single digit additions. Okay, in your number system. And single digit subtraction in your number system. Then after you're done with single digit subtraction addition, then you do double digit addition subtraction. Okay. Then after that, once you're done with it, then the time comes for you to start writing the tables in your number system. Okay. The tables. Remember the tables? Okay. In your number system, can somebody write tables in say 7 number system? Okay. So whatever is your base, those many tables. Like the way we say in decimal number system, we usually have tables up to 10, correct? So whatever is your base, that many tables. Okay. So B cross B table. So it goes up to 8 and it goes up to 8, like that, or up to 7. So whatever is your base, you basically do that many that many tables. Okay. Now once you're done with tables, then you learn to multiply. Okay. So just sit down with the pen paper, do this exercise, and right, multiply numbers by single digit in your number system. Then multiply by double digit. Okay. So I think this, and of course, figure out how to translate. Okay. How to translate between decimal number system. Okay. So whatever number system you choose a base, list down all the numbers that you can, and then you do single digit addition subtraction, then you do double digit addition subtraction, learn how to deal with carryover in your number system, design tables in your number system, multiply by single digit, multiply by double digit. Okay. And you will be very good with the understanding of what does it mean by tables, what does it mean by multiplication, and why is there a need of a number system? Okay, so I want everybody to do this exercise, and yes, and you'll thank me later. Okay, all right. Would you be able to do, everyone? Is there any question on this exercise? I'll review this next week.
What is the last one? Sorry. How to translate?
How to translate between your number system and decimal number system.
Okay, any number to decimal.
Yes. The last exercise is important. Later on, we will write code to do that. Okay, we'll write code to translate any base to any base. Okay. But right now, as part of this exercise, do it with pen and paper. Sit down and do it. Okay. And yes, this is extremely important. Why? Because you will understand a lot of things. So can somebody tell me that what is the minimum base that we require in order to design a system? What is the minimum base that you require? Can you design a number system using a one symbol? Exactly, you can't. You can't. At least you need two symbols. Okay? At least you need two symbols. Okay? That's why the smallest base that is possible is the binary. Okay? So, yeah, try doing this pen and paper, and in next one, we'll discuss. And don't copy from anywhere. This is an exercise. I want your muscles to be exercised. Okay. Yes, that's right, Suneet. If you are using 15 as a base, for example, so you will use 0 to 9, those are 10 symbols, and then you will use 5 more symbols, say A, B, C, D, E, F. That's absolutely correct. Okay. Or you can just use star, asterisk, circle, whatever symbols you want to choose. Okay. So instead of, if you don't like the symbols, if you don't like 0, 1, 2, 3, you can just choose like moon, sun, and other things like a star and anything. And you have your number system. Okay.
So I think we can define number system with one symbol. Like suppose if we start with 0 and put it as 1, and 1 with two
Okay.
1 and 3 with 3 ones, then
Wait,
why can't we move ahead with one symbol?
wait. Good question. Let's see. Okay. Yes. So you are saying, okay, let's say we have only one symbol here. Okay. Right? So tell me, how would you define 0 in your number system?
0 as 1.
Okay, 0 as 1. So now, let's say this is your, let's say your number system only has one thing called star. Okay, let's not
Yes.
confuse ourselves. So your number system has only one base and you have only one symbol called star. Correct? Okay. So when there are no stars, you can't present it, correct? So one star with one symbol, that's correct. And then second symbol, okay, second star, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. All right. So yes, you can do it, but yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like how should I say? Hmm. So there's only how should I say? Okay. Hmm. So the absence of the symbol is the another thing. So essentially, absence of symbol, the one that we call 0, okay? The
Sir,
one that
0
we call
means
0.
1 star.
This is 0, 0 means 1 star, okay? And
And then we move on adding stars.
okay, you are saying this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, 2, okay? Interesting. 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 Hmm.
But then in this way, where does the number system gonna end? Like, how would you define that particular is the
Hmm.
last digit in the unit frame actually?
But good question. Good question. Let me think over it. Let me think over it. That
Like three means 4 star, 5 means 6 stars,
yeah.
9 means 8 star, 10 means 9
Hmm.
stars. But what after that? Like if you keep on counting, you're basically running n-1 numbers system,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, question is what's wrong in that? So he does have a point. Let me think over it. But yes, you do have a point that you can design it like this. Like probably before before people started coming up with any number system, they would have just have like bars saying 1, 2, 3, and when there's no bar, that means it's zero. Okay.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if 1 star is 0, 2 star can be two zeros, right? You won't be able to differentiate between 1 and 0, right? Or a number and a 0.
Yeah.
Don't you need at least two symbols?
Huh?
Define zero, and don't you at least need at least two symbols in any
No, he does have
number
a
system?
he does have a point.
He's trying to challenge that
Yeah, he does have a
only.
point. Yeah, he does have a point. Yes. So, as in, you can definitely do the counting by having the symbols, like one symbol. Yes, you can do the counting. Okay. And you can represent those many values. Okay. But it'll be equivalent to actual numbers. So it won't be okay. Okay. Hmm. So you can have things with symbol numbers. Correct. That's right. Okay. But if you want to create a number system to represent some numbers, yeah, you can have that. Okay. But anyway, I'll think about it. But good point. Very good point. Now what I want you guys to basically go through this strategy of creating number system and designing your own mathematics around that number system, meaning addition, subtraction, multiplication, and if you get time, do the division. Okay. Now, this would help you understand multiple things. And when we talk about binary numbers, when we talk about hexadecimal numbers or base 64 numbers, you won't have any difficulty switching back and forth. Okay. All right. Good. So, yep. All right. Okay. So, yeah. So we started with the CH mode 755. Okay. And yeah, we ended up with the number system. Okay. But anyway, I would have anyway given you this exercise when we would have started with Python midway. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Any other questions? So take that exercise as a homework. And let's by next week you should do this exercise and report like where you're stuck. And yeah, you should also, right, there are a couple of exercises you will see as part of coding that in given any number system, how would you increase the number by 1? Okay. How would you increase the number by 1? Okay. Okay. A question from Nitin is, can you expand on environment variables? What to pay attention to when working on a real-world system? When do we need to change the environment variables? Usually, SAs handle Unix systems and programmers do not. No, actually, programmers do everything, Nitin. And I can bet that it's all a function of another thing I wanted to say that time also. I want everybody to just leave that mindset. As I said, right? Don't keep that mindset of the organization. As an engineer, as part of this class, you will learn to do everything. Okay. You will learn to do everything. You will learn to start. You will learn to do everything. Okay. So that's why, as a Linux system, the question is a very valid question. Question is, what all environment variables you need to know? Okay. So you can create your own environment variables. Your program might require extra environment variables. Okay. And the most important environment variable is your path. Path is the most important environment variable. Then there are other environment variables like, for example, internal file separator. Then Python path is there. So Python, basically the place where the Python looks for its module is read from the Python path. Okay. So you will learn, so every system has certain requirements of the environment variables. Like, for example, when you do Git commit, it expects you to have an environment variable called editor. Okay. So basically, the programs, if you want to communicate to a program, they communicate between the programs using the environment variables. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Nitin, was I able to answer your question? No. So environment variables are
Yes,
like
yeah.
these variables using which you interact with systems. Like, for example, I'll show you. So if you take a look at, let's say, Git command, okay? Git editor environment variable. Okay. So every program has this, expectation of environment variable. So you can see these are the
We
environment.
cannot see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. So I just searched on Google for Git internal environment variables. Okay. So Git expects these kind of environment variables, and you can modify the behavior of Git using these variables. So every software has the expectation of some environment variables. Okay. And the common environment variable is, say in case of Python. Okay. And in case of Python, there is something called echo Python path. Okay. It's empty, but you can set this path so that the Python starts searching for this variable somewhere. Okay. So basically, the variables you can create your own. Every software will have some expectation, but most common variables is like number one is path. Path is the most common variable that you will encounter. Now, going to the next question. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, okay. Now, the addition and subtraction is something that somebody has asked a question that can I explain again. Let's take a case of the base 64. Okay. Let's take a case of base 64. Okay. Right. So, sorry, not base 64. We'll take base 8. Correct. So, let's say we'll just list down 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then next number is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1. Now, if somebody says 5 plus 3 is how much? I'll say 5, 1, 2, 3. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay. Then you say, how much is 5 plus 5? So I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 plus 5 must be 11. Okay. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 11. Sorry, this is base 9. Sorry, this is a base 9. Thank you, Madhu. Yeah, yeah, that's a base 9. Okay, so in base 9, for example, we go from 0 to 8, 1, 0 to 1, 8, and so on. So 5 plus 5 is how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 11. Correct? Similarly, if somebody asks me like how much is 15 minus 3, so I'll say 15 minus 3 is how much? Okay, 1, 2, 3. So it must be 12. So 15 minus 3 is 12. Okay, then 15 minus 5 is how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15 minus 5 is 10. Okay, the other way you can think of them is just the way you did a carryover. Okay, carryover is how much? So let's say let's see if we understand the carryover. How much is base 9? Base 9. If somebody says 8 plus 1, okay, 8 plus 1 is 0 and carried over. Correct? And 18 plus 1, 18 plus 1, 1 plus 8, 0, 1 got carried over, it's 20. Correct? And is how much? 1 plus 8? Okay. All right. Now, similarly, let's say 8 plus 3. How much? So 8 plus 1 is 1, 0, right? So 8 plus 3 is 8 plus 3. 8 plus, so 8 plus 3 can be written like 8 plus 1 plus 2. So that's 1, 0. Sorry, 1, 2. So 8 plus 3 is equal to 1, 2. Make sense to you? No. So 8 plus 3 is equal to 12. Is it? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now you can do the carryover and so on. Yeah. So Hemant's question is there any other way of understanding? One way is you basically translate it back to the decimal and do the addition subtraction there and bring it back. But there will be unnecessary overhead. Okay. Sneha, what's your question? You want to transfer it to decimal?
The exercise, Sandeep, like the last exercise, like transfer decimals. So in the base 9
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
like 10 is nothing but 9. Is
Yes.
it that way?
Yeah, that's what is happening. So base 9 has only 9 symbols. So you go with 0, 1, 2, up to 8. Then again you start with 1, 0, go up to 1, 8. And then you start with 2, 0, go up to 2, 2, 8, like that. Got it?
Got it.
So every time it's only how many numbers are we are going? 9 numbers. Okay. So right? So we're basically going with 9 numbers.
So in this way, if I wanted to compare with the decimal equation as exact 9 decimals we have, no? 10 decimals from
Yeah.
0 to 9. So for base 9, it is the equation of n minus 1. I can relate.
You kind of, yes, you can see it here that basically whatever is the here, like decimal equivalent, how would you compute the decimal equivalent? So here, these are 9 numbers and so on. So whatever is the number here, okay, let's say 1/8, okay, we have reached 1/8 by 1 into 9 times plus 8. Okay, these many numbers are there in total, correct? Okay, so if you play around a little bit, okay, so I would say that start with first principle, just basic principle, that how do you write the numbers? You basically, base 9 means we can only use 9 symbols starting from 0 to 8, and when those symbols exhaust, you start from 0 and you put extra symbol of 1 before it. Okay, and also the other way of looking at it is, let's say, what will be the next symbol to this one? Okay, the next symbol to this one, this will become 0. Okay, and this will become 0 and this. Okay, so after 8 comes 0, 1 0, right? Like that. So basically, learn to represent, just list down all the numbers. Just sit down and list down all the numbers and start figuring out this logic. Okay. I can assure you that when you play around with it, you will get more ideas. Okay. We'll go into more details about this when we are converting back and forth. Okay. But the simple thing is, when the symbols exhaust, you put extra symbol to the left, increase the left symbol to the next one, and then you keep on starting from the beginning. Okay, just like in case of, say, binary numbers, we go with 0, 1. Now all symbols exhausted, we increase the previous symbol. So this is same as these. Okay, and now we are here, and then this again symbols exhausted, so we go back like that. Okay, so it's like if I ask you that you have, let's say, A, B, C, 3 letters, okay, and you have to make all possible numbers with these, what will you do? You will say A, B, C. You have only these 3 symbols, A, B, and C, and you have to create your own number system with them. So this first number, then second, then third, and then I say A, B, A, C, and then I go ahead and say, okay, the next number I would say, I would represent it like this. Okay. Sorry. Wait. Did I mess up? Yes. Okay. So this one I'll say BA, BB, BC. Then I will say CA, CB, CC. You see the pattern? A, B, C. Again A, B, C. The previous one increased to A. Then A, B, C. Then previous one increased to B, B, C. Like that. Okay. CA, CB, CC. And then we say, right, this, we exhausted all the numbers. Now we again start from the beginning. And now all of this will repeat. So I hope you are with me. So essentially, it's about representing numbers using symbols. Okay? Representing numbers using symbols, and so on. Okay. Now, can somebody tell me how many numbers in binary can I represent with my 10 fingers? Okay, let me make it more clearer. That let's say I start from here. So this is 0, this is 0, all are turned off. So all are 0, 0, 0. Then the first one is 1, then 2, this one, 2, then 3, this is 3, and then I say 4, then 5, 6, 7. Okay, you can again take a look at it from a binary number perspective. So first all are 0. Okay, how many numbers are there? 3, 3, 3. Okay, then one last. I did one finger. I showed one of the last finger, and then 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, like that, and all of them are 0. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So we have 10 fingers, and the first one goes up, right? So that's 1, then 2, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5, then 6, and then 7. Like that. Now take a guess. I have 10 fingers. Okay. But with 5 fingers, how many numbers can it represent? Okay. When am I moving? When I'm moving to the next number. When I'm moving to the next number is when I'm exhausting the first one. When I'm exhausting, one digit is exhausted, in. So, okay, let me put it this way. With one finger, how many numbers can I represent? 2 numbers, 0 and 1, 2 numbers. With 2 fingers, how many numbers can I represent? 4 numbers, right? With 3 fingers, 8. With 4 fingers, I can represent 16 numbers. With 5 fingers, I can represent 32 numbers, right? So, with 10 fingers, I can represent 2 to the power 10, which is 1024 numbers. So I can count till 1024 using my 10 fingers. Super confused? No? Thank you. Perfect. Very happy that most of you got it. Okay. So usually when we are counting till 10 with our fingers, right? That's very inefficient, isn't it? Okay. So as I said, work with me, and I want all of you to work on this. Okay. Now, any other questions on Linux? Okay. There was one question, I kind of missed it. Okay. Was there any question that I missed on Linux? There was one question from Pratik that does AI going to replace all our jobs? Okay. Can somebody else answer it? Anybody wants to answer this question?
I don't think so, but having the knowledge of AI would be important. So, I mean, going forward, the trend would be more around automation and streamlining processes. So having knowledge of AI would be beneficial.
Yes.
And for currently, the trend I'm seeing in the market, it's more of a generative AI become a market buzzword. So most of the companies are saying, promoting this, that their product have increased Gen AI capability and then can provide you better reporting, better mechanism to improve your business process. So I think that trend would be going forward, we continue, but it would be again like a normal software engineering practices.
Right. Rahul, you are in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was the one who requested you to change the balance.
I know.
From nighttime to daytime,
Yeah. Correct. Anybody else wants to take this? There is another question that keeps coming is that I heard that this thing can code and now our jobs, what's up? Why Sandeep Giri is wasting our time in teaching coding? That's another question that
again, what I feel like, that, programmers always need a better mechanism or a tool to help them out with the problem they stuck on a daily basis, right? While writing codes and whatnot. The chat GPT is a good assistant for them. That's how I see it. The trend. So like the shyness that most of the people have it, or the fear that they had it in past, like they're gonna face issues and how they can resolve it if they'll be writing code. So that can be rectified if you have some good knowledge of chat GPT. That's what I can tell you.
Yeah. So the way I would answer this question is this. When was the calculator invented? Calculator was invented in 1950s or 1930s, right? And we still teach math to our children, right? Similarly, these things are just like calculator, okay? They're like autocomplete machines. And we should know when to use them. And we should also know how to build them, okay? And that's essentially my idea is that those who thought that the programming was typing, their jobs are in peril because they are the people who are going to get replaced. But those who understood the difference between coding, as in typing and writing code, their jobs would be safe. Okay. So my point is, don't worry about any of that nonsense, right? Most important part is to understand the heart of it. Okay. Like, for example, when people tamed horse or people learned to tame a donkey, right? So many people said that, oh, my job is like the rickshaw pullers. We were pulling the rickshaw or cart by feet. Their jobs were in peril. Okay. Now, but new jobs were created. What kind of jobs were created? There were horse doctors. There were horse tamers. There were horse sugai. And then there were the people who build the cart, the people who drive the horse, people who take care of the horse, and so on. So it's the same time. And as human, as people, our skill is that we are versatile. We are versatile people. We are versatile animals. We can do a lot of things. Okay. So I think the differentiation you should know. We are not like snake, right? Like when I hear somebody saying that, I'm from ETL background, I don't think I can use this. Okay. And that sounds very weird to me. It's like saying that, hey, I only know how to play Mario. I can't play Fruit Ninja. Okay. So it's like that. but we are versatile machine. We are not like snake who can only bite. We can do everything. So I think that's the core idea behind this course, that you should know how to build stuff. You should know how to build such intelligence. And I can tell you, and you will also see that we are nowhere closer. We are nowhere closer. The AI is like very rudimentary as of today. It's not even as smart as an ant. An ant is smarter. It has its own agenda, its own objective. Right now, the AI doesn't have its objective. An ant learns by itself. Nobody has actually forced it to learn, right? So
Yeah.
the intelligence is, it's just that as we are going into the future, every day we are discovering new definitions of intelligence. At some point in history, people thought that playing chess is smarter. People who can play chess are smarter. Then at some point before that, some people said those who can read and write, they are smarter. Okay. And so I think it's the definition of intelligence, the way we perceive is going to change. And I think let's just stay focused on what's good for us, what's good for people uh, as us, right? I believe that what's good for us is understanding how to tame this horse so that you can create new professions by yourself. Okay. So yeah, with that, I think you all know the answer to that question. And I think we will focus more on building the intelligence. Think about thinking, think about how you learn, think about how would you build something that that can do those things. Okay. Spend all your time in that, answering that question. Don't go with the general naysay that nonsense has been going since long back.
Ages. Yeah. I mean, one example I remember, Sandeep, I just want to mention, people, when people were using papers and typewriters for their jobs, like, and there was a significant pushback within India, actually, not to bring IT or computers within India because people were fearing they will lose their job. But at the end, what happened actually? Computer brings progress. That's the same way I'm seeing, like, AI gonna bring
Yeah,
further progress. Like, people,
yeah,
20 people were working in an office doing paperwork for the same process. Now, people with same capacity of people can do a lot more things.
yeah,
And what I'm seeing is, like, in past, IT was being treated as a separate from the general business actually. But now most of the business risk evolves around IT. The processes within businesses are more dependent on IT. Like, business
yeah,
comes, I mean, the reality here is, you know, um, businesses can't survive if they're not using IT. And
yes, yeah,
the use of IT
yes,
is bigger and bigger, and so does with intelligence. I mean, AI, I mean. So
correct.
I'm seeing more and more people will be needed, even in business areas, who are having improved computer knowledge. So that will
Yes,
drive actually computer knowledge. That's what I can
yes,
see.
yes. Those are exactly my thoughts. And yeah, with that, I think we all will focus a lot and a lot into put our energies, our mind. Let's all of us focus on staying curious. Your fear should not be the reason for this course, right? This course, like your fear, like fear of losing job, fear of this, fear of that, should not be the primary driving factor. I want you guys to stay curious. And staying curious is hard, and therefore I have given you assignments. I want you guys to, everyone, to work on the assignments, and be a kid who is a curious person. And you are doing this course because this will help you thinking better. Okay. Help you thinking better, and that's how you have to look at it. So focus a lot and lot and lot on doing things, working with me, rather than the general media thing, those emotional response generation and all of that. Just leave that to newspaper people and leave that to other people. And yeah, and let's focus on learning to build it. Okay, so and trust me, you are in a very right place. You have taken the first step, and this first step takes a big courage to do. So let's focus more and more on understanding everything. You see something, okay, and you are curious, say how it's working, and then you basically try to study it, figure out like how it's working. Okay, and yeah, and I'm here if you have any doubt, any questions, I'm here. So yeah, we basically, with that, I think we'll continue our discussion next week at the same time. Tomorrow I have an alumni meet, so I'm not available tomorrow. But yeah, yeah. Any other questions before we take a break today? No questions?
No, good. Okay.
Right. Perfect, Rahul. Good to hear you. And yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks, Sandeep, for allowing or giving me the ability to move to a day class.